Hi you guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be covering this look, and we're going to go into the basics and the details of reverse contouring. So pretty much everything reverse contouring, and we're going to be using very minimal foundation to achieve this full coverage look. Although I have my eyes done, I have nothing else on my face. So the first thing I'm going to do is moisturize my skin, and I'm going to use one of my favorite moisturizers. You guys have seen me use this in another video. It's called their Confidence in a Gel Lotion, and this is super light, which I love for my skin since I'm oily. So I'm going to do about 2 pumps. I'm just going to apply this all over and blend it out down to my neck. I haven't done my eyebrows yet because I don't like to do my eyebrows in the beginning since I'm gonna have powders and foundation go in there. So I want to make sure that after I'm done with my makeup, I brush it all out and then I apply whatever I need to my eyebrows. I know a lot of people like to do their eyebrows beforehand to shape it out, which is fine. I just personally feel like with eyebrows, it comes at the end depending on what type of makeup you've done, if you want to do bold brows or if you want to go lighter with the brows. So I always kind of just leave it to the end. You guys probably know by now that I love any product that minimizes the pores. So this is another one that I love from Benefit Cosmetics. It's the Porefessional, and I love how this really just goes into the pores to minimize it and make it look so airbrushed. So I'm applying this around my nose, my forehead, and my chin. That's pretty much where I get really oily in my T-zone. And then whatever's left on my hand, I'm just applying on the rest of my face. So now that I've primed my face, I'm gonna go in with the 2 main products that I'm gonna be using to contour and highlight my face, which is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Bronzer in Golden Tan, and then the Tarte Cosmetics Shape Tape Concealer. I'm actually gonna use 2 shades because one's gonna brighten and one's gonna just kind of act like a foundation and cover any darkness I have. So it's light, medium sand, and light sand. And I'm just gonna apply these straight to my face and then start blending out with foundation. I definitely need my hair out of my face for this one because we're gonna go in and literally like contour and highlight all over, and then I'm gonna go in with foundation and blend it out. So right now you're gonna see a lot of craziness go down. So the first thing I'm gonna do is go in with this darker shade from Tarte Cosmetics, which is the light sand, or light medium sand, sorry. And I'm just gonna generously start applying this under my eyes. And you want to go as close to the sides of your nose as possible. I'm going to go around my eyebrows. This is pretty much why I don't do eyebrows beforehand, because I'm so clumsy. I don't know how people keep it so clean when they apply makeup, but I definitely am not one of those people. Bring this down the bridge of my nose. And I'm going in generously, you guys. I mean, I know this looks crazy, but we're not going to be using a lot of foundation. So this is pretty much our foundation. So then I'm going to take the lighter one and I'm going to go in a little bit more towards like the corners of my eyes, because this is where I really want to brighten it. So this one is in light sand, and I'm just going in on the really close corners of my eyes, the inner corners pretty much. Okay, so I'm gonna let this set for a second. I'm gonna go into my Anastasia Beverly Hills Golden Cream. It is called Cream Bronzer Golden Tan. Yeah, that's pretty much what it's called. I don't know why I thought it had a different name, but I'm gonna grab my contour brush, which is from Morphe, and I love this. It was part of their Gunmetal collection. I'm not sure if they still have this, but this brush is amazing for contour. So I'm just gonna grab this contour and just place it pretty much where I would place my contour on top of foundation, but we're not doing that today. So we're just going straight on the skin and applying it where we would contour. Okay, so doing the sides of my forehead. As far as the concealer under my eyes, you do want to leave it there for a little bit. So even in general, when you're doing your concealer, even over foundation, you always want to leave it there just for a few seconds, maybe like 30 seconds for it to actually dry and soak in, so that way it really brightens the area. Now I'm going to go in under my cheekbone to really chisel this out, and then this is also going to act as foundation. Like I said, we're going to be using very minimal foundation today, just to pretty much blend all this out. Other than that, we're sticking to concealer and contour. I'm gonna go in with my nose contour now, and then we're ready to blend. And it's okay if the lines aren't perfect right now, because again, we are blending all of it out, and then we're gonna set it, so don't worry about that right now. One thing I'm gonna do before I blend all this with foundation is take my Love Ritual Primer Water from Smashbox and just spray my face. The reason you're spraying your face with this, or the reason you wanna spray your face with this, it feels so good, is because when you leave the products on while you're applying the rest of the products, I feel like sometimes they might dry out. So this just kind of gives you a blendable base once you go in with your foundation. Just makes it easier. Need a little bit more. Also, since I already have so many products on my face, I definitely want to go in with something that's super light. So the Dior Backstage Foundation, which is really sheer, is perfect for this, or anything really that's pretty sheer, because you don't want to add a lot of coverage on top of full coverage already. So the point of the foundation in this case is pretty much just to help us blend out. So I'm going to start blending my face with a beauty blender first, just to kind of get this set in. And then after this, I'm going to go in with the foundation on top. Just want to blend all this. When it does come also to the contour part, that's mainly where I'm going to be putting the foundation, because I want to dial it down a lot. The first time I did this was, I think maybe like a few years ago, and I remember looking in the mirror and I looked so muddy, and I was like, what the hell? Like, how do people do this? What is this? Why would anyone want to look like this? Well, because I did it wrong, but I kind of like mixed all the colors. I kid you not, where I looked like 3 shades darker than my actual skin color, and I was like, major fail. Major fail. I'm so glad I didn't try that on a client for the first time. Definitely wouldn't be hired again. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab my foundation, which is in 1 neutral. It is, again, the Dior Backstage Foundation. And I'm gonna go into the back part of my beauty blender, and I'm just gonna dip it in and start, and start just blending this down and going over this contour. You could see it's already making it so much lighter. We're just gonna keep blending out, and we're not gonna move this down to the concealer part on the bottom or the top, because we definitely just want this line to be there. But do you guys see how completely blended out this looks? You don't see those harsh lines anymore. So that's pretty much blended. And I didn't even have to add any foundation to the bottom of my eyes, because that really is super full coverage, and I don't need anything more than that. I'm gonna let this set a little bit, and then I'm gonna go in with my Kylie translucent setting powder. I'm not sure if I like this powder the first time I used it, but I'm gonna go into it again and see how I feel about it. I'm gonna grab a blending brush just like this, kind of fluffy, but small. I'm not using, I don't really like to use huge brushes for my face to set, because I like to go in smaller increments. And I'm just gonna grab a small mirror again, and I'm gonna go into my under eye area and set the concealer first. I just really wanna set this concealer, that's about it. I don't wanna powder like the rest of my face completely. This powder is looking nice. It's definitely doing the job of setting, but I just wish it had a little bit more of a blurring effect, which I love in my powders. But I don't really see it blurring anything. So we'll just see how it performs throughout the night. To set my contour, I'm gonna go in with Laura Mercier's Candle Glow Sheer Perfecting Powder in number 5. And it's so pretty. No, it's not opening, there we go. It has such a pretty sheer like effect to it. I can't explain it, but it's really pretty, and I love this for like that subtle bronzy glow. So I'm just grabbing a little bit on my brush, and I'm just gonna set my contour a little bit. For a pop of blush, I'm gonna go into Alondra and Elsie BFF palette in collaboration with BH Cosmetics, and it has these really pretty peachy tones in there. So I'm just gonna use one of these tones. I think I'll use the first one, which is You're My Person. It has that peachy tone to it, or I might just mix these two, we'll see. But just a little bit above my cheeks to give it a little more life. So I'm gonna go in with that same brush that I used to set my contour, because we're not dipping into like a pink tone or anything like that. It's still peachy, so we can mix it up a little bit. And I'm just gonna place this very lightly. I'm not really like swiping it in there. I just want to dab, dab, dab. A little more on this side, because I'm not going for like a really blushy look today. So now that I'm done with my eyebrows, I'm gonna go into my lip combo, which is from KKW 90s Girl lip liner. And I'm just gonna lightly line my lips. And now I'm gonna give myself a Cupid's bow. Okay, you guys, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed the process, and I hope you guys learned something from it. I really hope you guys kind of are more open to using this kind of a technique, because although it looks really scary in the beginning, once you learn how to blend everything away, it just doesn't feel heavy on the face, and it actually has a flawless coverage. I appreciate you guys so much, and thank you so much again for joining me. Until next time, bye.